Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rangers Respite. I'm Philip. Today is Saturday. That means it is time for a Lost Lantern Saturday review. Today I'm looking at single cask or 2024 single cask number 5 Middle West Spirits Straight Ohio Rye Whiskey or Ohio Straight Rye Whiskey. Anyway, before I get into that, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this channel, you like what I do, and you like to see more, and would like to support this channel beyond liking, commenting, and subscribing, which do a lot for my channel. I'm selling shirts in a Spreadshirt store in the description down below. You can click that link. You can buy shirts to support the Virginia Whiskey Tournament, which is coming up this summer. Starts June 2nd. There's going to be a live stream in May where we fill out the bracket. I'm really looking forward to that. I'll be pretty excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm also selling these on Etsy, made from French oak ex-cognac cask staves. That cask was used to finish a peated American single malt in the Pacific Northwest. Without further ado, let's talk about this. Now, let me just inhale my own spittle for a second. This is distilled from a unique 4-grain rye mash bill, including dark pumpernickel rye. It is bottled at 63% alcohol by volume, or 126 proof. It is one of 197 bottles of this particular release, and it comes out of Ohio. The only things that Ohio made were astronauts and disappointment. But this is really interesting. It's a little bit hot on the nose, being 63%. It's 4 years old. It's definitely like the pumpernickel really presents itself surprisingly. A lot of darker notes on here, roasted fennel and aniseed, some like bright coffee notes, some darker like black cherry and cocoa notes on the nose. Caraway seeds. That's a really strong note on this one, which may just be an association with rye bread. If you're breathing in a little bit, while you have it in your mouth, make sure that it's not near the back of your mouth. I'm having a rough time today re-recording this because the one that I recorded yesterday I didn't like. I was doing my editing, and something about like my voice just wasn't cutting it. I sounded really hoarse. I don't know why. Ooh. Again, like every time I have this, which I should drink more of, it really surprises me a bit. And not in a bad way, but like I forgot about that. So it really does have this like good pumpernickel rye bread flavor all the way through it. Caraway seed, fennel, aniseed, like a little bit of cinnamon, some like just a bit of cloves, a little bit of like vegetal notes, some caramel, and like barrel bitters, like dark cherry notes. But it really is dominated by that like really bready rye note, which I really enjoy. It's not, you would think it'd be more common on rye whiskeys, but it really isn't. Most rye whiskeys are very like herbaceous and like aniseed fennel forward and lack that kind of like breadiness to it. This is very good. I want to know what the other 3 grains in the mash bill are, Just out of curiosity. I could probably look it up on the Middle West website. I'm almost surprised that it's not on this on the back label of this. Mm. There's a there's a sweetness there. Just very light, like caramelly sweetness. Absolutely beautiful stuff. My one complaint is that the finish could be a little bit longer. The finish is really very interesting. It's the herbaceousness is dialed down a little bit, the caramel is dialed up some, and it results in like a herbal hard candy, like a horehound or sassafras or um oh, this is gonna be a weird one. Um, not licorice, but the aniseed hard candies that you get that are like sweetened aniseed. Those are interesting and different. And it isn't that note. It's like a more like diverse, herbaceous, sweet note. Mm. And maybe just a little bit of like a banana-y note, like just on the very edge of going bad. Uh, Time for banana bread bananas. Interesting. I'm gonna look at this back label again and see if I missed the mash bill. 4-grain straight rye whiskey made with dark pumpernickel rye grain, giving it a full, toasty, chocolatey, and earthy flavor. It was aged for 4 years in a 53-gallon new oak barrel from the Speyside cooperage. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research because this has been one that like I don't reach for very often. Um, Lately it's been opulent orchard that I've been reaching for when it comes to ryes, but I gotta reach for this more because this is good. Somewhere I have a Baltimore Spirits Company rye that's very good. Mm, genuinely. Genuinely, I don't know why I don't reach for this more often. This is fantastic. Anyway, all that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, I always ask and answer 3 questions. The first one being, do I enjoy it? Yes. To be fair, I prefer rye over bourbon or even American single malt. Rye whiskey is my first love, and this is a very interesting and unique example of rye whiskey that I think executes very well on getting a really strong rye flavor that's not the like minty like 95.5 note that you get, that also isn't the like Catoctin Creek dense, slightly funky rye. This is very different and I enjoy it. And I may have to go out of my way to find more Middle West Ohio rye. Second question, do I think it's a good value? Now, the point is moot because you can't get this bottle anymore, but I believe that this was a roughly $100 bottle of whiskey. I think maybe a little bit less, maybe about $90 bottle of whiskey. In any rate, I think it's well worth $100. I think that it is a pretty good value. I enjoy it thoroughly. And it's, I think, it it's one of those ones that like really every time I have a little bit of it, it reminds me that I need to visit it more often. And I don't know why I don't. Maybe it's an implicit bias against Ohio. The third and final question is, do I recommend it? If you see a bottle of this out in the wild, absolutely you should snag it, buy it. I thoroughly enjoy it. It is a little bit hot at 63% alcohol by volume. So if you are not a high proof drinker, recommend adding a little bit of water. Um, but it is fantastic. I really enjoy it. And like I said, I think I ought to reach for it more often. All that said, ladies and gentlemen, Monday, I'm going to be doing a video where I sit down with a sample, talk about the sample, and also talk about like things that are coming up and state of the channel, that sort of thing. Um, on Wednesday, I'm going to be reviewing another whiskey. I haven't decided what yet. On Friday, again, another whiskey review that I haven't decided on. And then next Saturday, let's see. What have I not reviewed from Lost Lantern? I think I've done all of those. I don't think I've done that Rich Grain Distilling. Maybe I'll do that one. Anyway, I'll pick something. It'll be fun. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. So stay happy, stay geeks. Sancha.